Hello folks, and welcome to my channel. I know many of you longtime subscribers know from my videos and magazine articles why I'm called the NightFlyyer, but for you newer folks, it's because back in the early 70s I began getting bored with just regular daylight flying of planes and helis, even though the helis had no gyros back then. That wasn't so boring. So I began flying on the road in the dark, and even with roller skates on. Well, that was going pretty good, so I talked to all the members of my club, the Capistrano Aero Dump Masters, into trying to fly in the dark as well. And they all did, and they found out how easy it really was, and it became a regular thing every Friday night. We flew until 2 or 3 in the morning. And we flew in the pitch dark, not dusk or with spotlights, so it was a real sight to see. And we even had night pylon races. All the planes were the same and all the same color. And boy, keeping track of all those was really a trip. So after about 4 years of perfecting the lights, I felt we had figured it out pretty well enough to pass on. So I wrote the very first articles on night flying and showed what worked best on the plane so others would have the same good success. You have to realize that we had no LEDs like our available day, and many of us even used chemical lights as well. The only lights we had available and used back then were just 5-volt bulbs with colored lenses, and they were powered by the 4.8-volt NiCad battery pack that ran the receivers. The biggest problem, though, was being able to see the lights on the plane no matter what angle you were flying. Yeah, that's important, because you see, many times the outboard wing light got blocked and it disappeared. So I developed what I call light extenders. These were simple Lexan clear solid plastic tubes. I put a hole in the middle and glued in the lens and then siliconed in the bulb. By mounting them vertically on the wingtips, it was really easy to see them at any angle because it looked like 3 lights. The clear plex tubes acted like fiber optics, and they were bright as well. So after my maiden flight of my Flite-Test Duster a couple days ago, I knew it would be a great little night flyer, so I decided to put lights on it. And many of you requested to see that as well, so this is how I did it. I could have spent the time to wire all the LEDs in like I did on many of my planes, and even by using copper tape like I did on my Nexus night helicopter when I made my own lighted blades. Now I've seen the planes and helis all lit up like Christmas trees, etc., and it's fascinating to watch. But I like to keep it simple and fly just like I always did using the FAA colors for full-scale planes. It was good enough for them. It was good enough for the models. And that is red on the left and green on the right and a white tail light. Easy to understand, and because red is always left, and if you're coming back at you, and red right returning. So since this plane is all foam board, I did it the simplest way I could. It really took no time to do. I used the KISS theory. That is, keep it simple, sir, or sweetie. I simply put these night ease lights on the plane. They are self-contained and run for 60 hours or more, and have replaceable AG3 batteries in there, and they even float. They look like the chemical lights, but are real light, and they stay bright the whole time. I mounted them vertically by simply pushing them through the foam wing. I can easily remove them, and they can be seen no matter what angle the plane is in. And the round shape does not affect the flying at all, as neither did our light extenders in the 70s. I like this kind of cartoony plane, so let's take it out for a flight and see how it goes. Okay, something that I found after that first flight, as you can see, this is the push rod for the elevator, and it pushes this up and down. But there's a weak spot here, because if you look at this, the only thing that connects the other elevator over here is this little piece of foam right between the two. And that was twisting. So when I was given full up at speed, this one was going up and this one was flattening out because that was so weak in the middle there. So what I did was I put a little piece of skewer in here and glued that down, so this is much stiffer now. It's still a little bit weak, but that's a definitely weak spot because that's only a little piece of foam. Also, on the sides, I noticed that the part of these hinges were coming apart. This paper on top, or whatever this is covered with,
I didn't do this, build it, but I noticed this was coming apart. So what I did was I put some clear tape here and then ran a piece of tape this way, a piece of tape this way, so that hinge is now staying tight. So it wasn't bad flying slow, and in the wind you couldn't really see it, but at high speed that left side would flatten out and the right side was up, and that would make it want to roll to the right. Just something to look out for when you build this. Build them strong.
Take it around again. Ha ha ha!